Hello my beautiful friends, I hope you're having an amazing day. Today I'm coming at you with another one of my coaching videos, and today it's going to be about how I actually spent the majority of my morning, which was mad at someone. So I'm going to tell you how I personally work through these emotions when they arise for me, because sometimes they're so unexpected, and sometimes when they grab a hold of us, they can consume us for the day, for a few days, for a week. And you know, it never feels good when we hold on to grudges or when we are just seeking apologies or validation in some kind. So today I'm going to talk to you about how to work through being mad at someone. So let's get started. All right, so as I mentioned to you guys, this is how I spent the majority of my morning, mad at someone. And I don't know exactly how these emotions arise. I did actually wake up from a bad dream in the middle of the night, and I had a hard time getting back to sleep, and there was a lot of anxious emotions that were arising then, so maybe that's why I kind of woke up on the wrong side of the bed, if you will. But yeah, so this morning I woke up and I just found myself in this loop of being angry at someone who had done something hurtful to me, and also some of the people that I love in my life. And I just found myself circling through this hamster wheel of being angry and really wanting an apology. And not just any apology, but a very specific, authentic, heartfelt apology. And sometimes when we get caught in our ego mind, which is very much like this was my ego mind, there is such a gratification of being right. It is something that we search for, and you guys might have heard the quote, sometimes it's better to be happy than to be right, but my ego absolutely loves to be right. It wants to be right so bad that I spent the morning, I meditated, I journaled, I went bike riding, I did all these things to make me happy. It's a beautiful sunny day today, but I found myself in this hamster wheel in my own mind. My ego was just on this righteous track of needing to be right and needing an apology that was wrapped up in a beautiful box, let's say, with a big bow on top. But the truth is that what we do to another, we actually do to ourselves. So this entire morning, when I was harboring these angry emotions towards someone, they have no idea that I'm angry with them. They have absolutely no idea. This isn't something that happened recently, it's something that happened in the past, and I just was searching for some reason or some way to exercise these emotions that were arising, and I chose to just hate on this person, really hate on them for the majority of my morning. Through my meditation, through my journaling, through my bike riding, it happens. Sometimes these emotions can feel so powerful and just take this huge hold on us. And like I said, what we do to another, we actually do to ourselves. So by me choosing to focus on the ego and what it was searching for, this validation, the apology, all the reasons why I should be mad and why I should get what I want through this situation, I was actually ruining my own morning. I was the root of my own suffering, because I was the one who was holding on to these emotions and expending that energy in a way where I wasn't thinking good of this person. I wasn't holding them in a space of love in my mind. I was holding them in a space of, you know, fear or not love, anti-love. I was very angry. And I recognized that I was very much in this ego cycle. But sometimes the idea of being right gives such a negative, it's a negative payoff we get inside from it, but sometimes that feeling is so powerful that even though me, being a life coach, being very aware of where my energy was at, where my emotions were at, I still chose to give into it. I still chose to give into my ego and just really sit in that space. I chose that over love. And how did I begin to move out of that? Well, I knew that I was going to film videos today, and I didn't want to be in this headspace while I was filming videos, so I actually tossed on an audiobook, which I love and I re-listen to all the time, re-listen to little bits of it. It's called A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. And it's no coincidence that I landed on just the part that I needed to help me move through this day. And it was all about how we really only ever have two choices. We have love and we have fear. And when we're in love, when we're choosing love, when we're choosing to view people as all children of God, if you will, as all expressions of the universe, we can recognize that everyone is on their own path, as I've told you before, and everyone is learning and growing. And I've mentioned to you guys this before, hurt people. I started to ask myself if I could find compassion for this individual who sparked my anger. And I started to think back on this individual and things that they may have gone through in their life, and I was like, okay, I can find some compassion, some empathy for that. I can start to feel, you know, a little bit sorry for this individual almost, but more so I moved into that place of understanding that I'm angry because the hurt person hurt me and hurt people that I love, but maybe I could shift. Right? So I started to open up my own realm of possibilities when it comes to this individual. How can I start to view them in a place of love? Like I said, I thought back on what they must have been through in their life to project all these types of emotions onto me. And yeah, I mean, it's not easy. And it actually takes bravery to try to move your own ego out of that place. But then after I found compassion for this individual, I thought, you know, they are just doing the best they can with what they have, and how can I keep raising my own energy around this situation and not give in to the lower level vibrations of fear, of anger, of resentment, all of that. So then I kept going. I said, okay, asking myself these deeper questions. Like I said, it's not always easy, but if you continue to ask yourself and hold yourself to answer them, you will begin to rise. So, you know, what are these questions? Actually, I should write them down for you guys. So first of all, it takes recognizing that you are in those lower level vibrations and recognizing that you are stuck in your righteous ego. Like I admitted I was. I wanted to be right. I wanted the apologies. I wanted everything wrapped up specifically how I wanted it. But after that, I asked myself, okay, how can I find compassion? How can I find compassion for this individual? So if there's someone in your life right now who you're holding some anger towards, maybe some unpleasant emotions, how can I find compassion for this individual? Like I said, it took me thinking about this person's past and thinking back to that concept, hurt people. And then I started to move into, you know, how can I forgive this person? And forgiveness can be difficult, because I think one of the most powerful lessons that I have learned in this life is how to forgive the unforgivable. How to forgive people who you may never actually speak to again in your life, you may never have any type of encounters with. And so this is something I learned through my experience with ayahuasca, but I actually forgave the unforgivable in my life. And that was one of the most liberating things that I could have done. So whether or not this person did something unforgivable or, you know, forgivable in your mind, ask yourself, how can I forgive them? So for me today, what that meant for me was that I recognized this person is doing the best that they can with what they have. They have not had an easy past. You know, a lot of us have not had an easy past, but recognizing that maybe this person has not done their inner work to the extent that I have, so they cannot see where they're at in this situation. So how can I forgive? And once I moved into that place of forgiveness, I just started to feel, you know, just more loving, deciding and knowing that if I actually chose to view this person in love, hope that this person will heal, try to manifest those outcomes for that person, maybe do a little Ho'oponopono meditation, sending them love, sending them forgiveness, and just healing energy versus that angry energy. So then I started to move into that place of love, and I felt a lot better. I almost felt like I wanted to cry, because I just realized we're always being presented with teachers, and sometimes those people in our life who we feel the most intense emotions for, maybe that's anger, maybe you know, whatever it is that's showing up for you, frustration, those people are teachers, and they're most powerful teachers because they are leading us back to love. If we can forgive someone who did something to us so wrong that the ego is judging as being something very, very hurting of other people, and if we can forgive that to the intensity that it feels for you, I mean, you raise up so much higher when you can find forgiveness for someone who's done something very horribly to you, let's say. So in the end, you win. In the end, you win because you feel better, because you feel better feeling thoughts. You can choose love, you can choose forgiveness. We always have a choice. Remember that, fear or love, we always have a choice. And fear likes to disguise itself as like the righteous ego. It likes to disguise itself as all sort of different emotions, retreating, you know, rejecting things, all that. But when we're in love, that's when we're free. That is the ultimate freedom, is when we're in a space of love in our minds, because we don't hold attachments. We can just let things go. We can just accept them for what they are, and then we don't have to run on those hamster wheel loops being angry. And we're human, it happens, but the faster that you can recognize that, and the faster that you can move through asking yourself these deeper questions and reflecting on your emotions, because sometimes when they arise so intensely, they just want to be acknowledged. They just want to be acknowledged. Like I said, this is something that happened to me a while back. It isn't something that happened recently. But I somehow got this spark of feeling those lower level emotions, and I just dove down into them. Versus if I were to open that up, ask myself deeper questions, take that time to reflect, I could have come out of that a lot easier, a lot quicker. So I hope that this message was the one that you guys needed today. If there's anything or anyone that's upsetting you in your life right now, just remember, what you do to another, you do to yourself. By focusing on hateful thoughts and resentment and frustration, you're actually causing an unpleasant situation for yourself, versus if you were to open up your heart, expand your heart, and find forgiveness for this individual. So I hope you're all having an amazing day, amazing rest of your day. And if you do like these types of videos, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe below. I'm also a life coach, and I'm always taking on new clients if I have the capacity to. So there is an email down below you guys can reach out. Sending you so much love, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.